My husband and I get along great. It's his first marriage and mine, and we like each other.
For decades, Dolly Parton's husband, Carl Dean, has been a mystery. While Dolly shines in the spotlight, Carl has stayed in the shadows, silent, unseen, and almost mythical to fans. But after years of speculation, whispers, and curiosity, he's finally breaking his silence. What does he have to say about their 58-year marriage, Dolly's fame, and the secrets behind their enduring love? Get ready, because this rare revelation is shaking up everything we thought we knew about country music's most private love story.
But he does not want to be in the press. He's proud of me, he's proud for me.
A love story, hidden in plain sight. Dolly Parton's story is well known. A young woman from Tennessee, brimming with ambition and talent, she took Nashville by storm, becoming a global icon. But behind her glittering career, there was always one constant: Carl Dean, the man who loved her from the shadows. Their love story began in 1964 in the most unexpected of places, a laundromat. Dolly, just 18, had recently moved to Nashville to chase her dreams, while Carl, a 21-year-old road construction worker, had little interest in the entertainment world. Their meeting was ordinary, yet transformative. Carl saw something in Dolly that no one else did. Not the future star, not the woman who would one day be a household name, but just a young girl with bright eyes and a captivating spirit.
I don't know how many people really get to live to see their dreams come true, but I have a good family, a good support system.
I knew right then and there that I was going to marry her, Carl once confessed. And he did. 2 years later, in 1966, they exchanged vows in a simple ceremony in Ringgold, Georgia. No flashing cameras, no Hollywood fanfare. Just two people in love, ready to build a life together. But then came the decision that baffled the world. Carl Dean chose a life away from the spotlight. While Dolly traveled the world, graced magazine covers, and became one of the most celebrated artists of all time, Carl remained almost invisible. He never accompanied her to industry events, never basked in her fame, and never once attempted to be part of her public world.
It has been a wonderful journey. Now, people say to me,
For decades, people speculated, was Carl unsupportive? Was there trouble in their marriage? Did he even exist at all? The truth, however, was far simpler and far more extraordinary. Carl Dean adored Dolly Parton, not for her fame, but for the woman she was at home. He found joy in the quiet moments they shared, away from the cameras and the fans. While the world clamored for a glimpse of their relationship, he was content to love her privately, offering her the kind of devotion that required no validation. Dolly has often spoken about the strength of their marriage, attributing its longevity to mutual respect and independence. I have my career, he has his life, and that keeps things exciting for us, she once said. She even joked that their secret to a happy marriage was spending enough time apart. Maybe that's why we never fight. Despite the swirling rumors, their love endured. And now Carl Dean himself has finally chosen to share his side of the story. However, before delving into the story of Carl Dean, let's take a look at the life of his wife, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, the country music icon, actress and philanthropist who redefined success. Dolly Rebecca Parton, born on January 19, 1946, is an American icon, singer, songwriter, actress, and philanthropist, most famous for her groundbreaking work in country music. Parton began her career as a talented songwriter, crafting hits for other artists before releasing her own debut album, Hello, I'm Dolly, in 1967. This marked the start of a 6-decade-long career that would see her release 49 studio albums, including the 2023 release Rockstar, which reached an impressive number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart, her highest charting album to date. Parton is often hailed as a country legend, with more than 100 million records sold globally, securing her place as one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Throughout her career, she has garnered numerous accolades, including gold, platinum, and multi-platinum awards from the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA. With 25 #1 singles on the Billboard country music charts, she holds the record for the most chart toppers by a female artist.
I was so surprised, first of all.
a feat she shares with Reba McEntire. Additionally, Parton has an astounding 44 top 10 country albums, another record for any artist, along with 110 career-charted singles over the past 40 years. As a prolific songwriter, she has penned over 3,000 songs, including timeless classics like I Will Always Love You, Jolene, Coat of Many Colors, and 9 to 5, many of which have become enduring anthems. Beyond her musical career, Parton has made significant contributions to film. She starred in the beloved films 9 to 5 in 1980 and The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas in 1982, both of which earned her Golden Globe nominations for Best Actress. She also featured in Rhinestone in 1984, Steel Magnolias in 1989, Straight Talk in 1992, and Joyful Noise in 2012, showcasing her versatility as an entertainer. Parton's accolades include 11 Grammy Awards from 50 nominations, as well as multiple Country Music Association awards, including the prestigious Entertainer of the Year. She is also a member of an exclusive group that has received nominations from the Academy Awards, Grammy Awards, Tony Awards, and Emmy Awards. In 2005, she was honored with the National Medal of Arts, and she became the second woman ever inducted into both the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I didn't really feel like I had done enough to deserve that.
In addition to her success in music and film, Parton has expanded her empire through her co-ownership of the Dollywood Company. This organization manages several entertainment venues, including the Dollywood Theme Park and Splash Country Water Park. Through her Dollywood Foundation, Parton has also launched numerous charitable initiatives focused on education and poverty relief in East Tennessee, the region where she grew up, leaving a lasting impact on her community and beyond. Now that Carl Dean has decided to break the silence, let's see what his motives are and what he has to say. Setting the record straight. Carl Dean, a man who had long stayed out of the spotlight, finally decided to speak up. His reason was simple and heartfelt. He wanted the world to understand the truth about his love for Dolly Parton. For years, rumors swirled that their marriage was far from conventional. Some even claimed they barely lived as husband and wife. But Carl, with a quiet certainty, put those rumors to rest. "We live together like any other married couple," he said. "She goes to work, I stay home. But when she comes back, I'm still there, waiting." For him, their relationship wasn't about public appearances. It was about the moments they shared behind closed doors, the kind of love that only they truly understood. Carl reflected on the small, quiet moments that defined their bond. Mornings spent with coffee in hand, late-night chats on the porch, and inside jokes that never needed an audience. These were the moments that made their love strong, the kind that no one else could see, but that held everything together. Despite speculation that he might harbor resentment toward Dolly's immense fame, Carl chuckled at the thought. "I've always been proud of her," he explained. "I don't need to stand on stage to know that I'm part of her life." The attention and admiration she received didn't diminish the love they shared. If anything, it made him more proud of the woman he called his wife.
That we have in December, but we're going into our 7th year. Just seems like yesterday.
When asked about the many heartbreaking songs Dolly had written over the years, Carl's response was straightforward. "She doesn't really write sad songs about me," he said with a smile, "because I've never broken her heart." In that simple statement, Carl confirmed what many had suspected all along. The love between them had never faltered. The man who had been shrouded in mystery for so long finally spoke out, and his message was clear. Their love wasn't about the glamour of red carpets or the drama of public attention. It was about the unwavering bond between two people who truly understood one another. In a world where celebrity relationships often come and go, Carl and Dolly's love has remained steadfast. They've shown that true love doesn't need validation from the outside world. It simply needs two people who cherish each other. Carl may not have walked beside Dolly on every red carpet, but he's been her constant companion in every moment that mattered. After more than 50 years together, the greatest mystery of Dolly Parton's life has finally been revealed. Not through grand gestures or public declarations, but through the quiet, enduring truth of a love that has never wavered. While one might wonder if something has changed about Carl Dean, for him to break the silence after 5 decades, we would like to find out more about his decision to speak up. Carl Dean breaks his silence, but nothing about him has changed. For over 5 decades, Carl Dean has managed to remain an enigmatic figure, always staying in the shadows of his wife, the iconic Dolly Parton. Unlike many spouses of famous celebrities, Carl has shown no interest in basking in the limelight or riding on the coattails of his wife's stardom. While Dolly Parton's life has been filled with glitzy events, chart-topping hits, and worldwide fame, Carl Dean has preferred to live a life of calm privacy, far removed from the media circus that surrounds his wife. The couple's relationship has long been a subject of curiosity, especially since Dolly, with her vibrant and larger-than-life public persona, often speaks of Carl as her rock. But Carl, who has always shied away from the public eye, never talks about their life together. For years, the world wondered about the man who shared a life with one of the most famous women on the planet, but he kept a low profile.
Did special things because I enjoyed that. I would have been a beautician if I hadn't have been a singer.
Choosing to keep their love story between them. After more than 50 years of marriage, Carl has finally shared a few words about his bond with Dolly. But in keeping with his quiet, unassuming nature, he did so in the simplest and most understated way possible. Instead of appearing on talk shows or penning a tell-all book, Carl spoke from the heart with a few humble words. "I love Dolly. I have always loved her, and that's what matters most." This wasn't an attempt to grab attention or seek fame. There were no dramatic interviews or attempts to capitalize on his wife's celebrity. It was simply a sincere and private declaration of enduring love, untainted by the public's fascination. In an industry where everything seems to be on display, Carl's words served as a gentle reminder that true love doesn't require validation or constant visibility. It doesn't need to be paraded for the world to see. Carl's love for Dolly is unwavering, genuine, and deeply personal, untouched by the glitz and glamour of fame. What has the marriage been like without Carl appearing in the spotlights? What is the secret behind their lasting love? Let's find out. A marriage without spotlights. The secret to their lasting love. A marriage that endures for over 5 decades is an extraordinary feat, but one in which one partner is an international icon and the other remains almost entirely out of the spotlight? That's almost unheard of. Carl Dean, the husband of country music legend Dolly Parton, has never joined her on stage.
He didn't want to go out there doing all that. He never would do interviews or any of that.
He's never been by her side at her concerts, walked the red carpet with her at star-studded events, nor has he ever participated in interviews about their life together. His desire to remain out of the public eye has been so strong that, for years, rumors spread that he might not even be real. Some speculated that Carl was simply a fictional character, a name Dolly used to keep her private life shrouded in mystery. But the truth is much simpler and far more intriguing. Carl's decision to stay away from the limelight isn't a sign of trouble in their marriage. It's actually one of the things that has helped it thrive. From the very beginning, Carl made his boundaries clear. He told Dolly, "I love you, but don't expect me to become a public figure." And Dolly, ever the understanding partner, respected his wishes. In a world where love is often measured by grand gestures, social media posts, and glamorous public appearances, Dolly and Carl's relationship stands as a quiet yet profound testament to a deeper kind of connection. Theirs is not a love built on extravagant displays or red carpet moments, but on the subtle, intimate exchanges that truly define a lifelong bond. It thrives in the gentle laughter they share over morning coffee, in the warmth of a knowing glance across the room, and in the small, thoughtful gestures that often go unnoticed by the world. Their love is not for spectacle, but for the soul, rooted in the comfort of simply being together, in whispered conversations and decades of unwavering support. While others may seek validation in the public eye, Dolly and Carl have found fulfillment in the quiet moments that matter most, proving that true love doesn't need an audience. It just needs 2 hearts in harmony. When asked if she ever wished Carl would stand by her side at glamorous events, Dolly simply laughed. "Not at all," she said. "He supports me in his own way, and that's enough for me. I don't need a husband who stands on stage with me. I need a husband who stands by me for life." And Carl has done exactly that. standing by Dolly's side in the most meaningful way possible, without the need for the world to see it. But how did he keep up with his share of the bargain, despite the speculations and rumors flying around? Let's dig into the details. Love in the face of rumors. Throughout the years, Dolly and Carl's marriage has been the subject of endless speculation and gossip. Their relationship has been surrounded by rumors ranging from Dolly allegedly falling in love with other musicians to whispers of Carl's infidelity. There were even claims that the couple had quietly separated, continuing to maintain a facade of unity for the public. Some people even suggested that Carl was nothing more than a fictional character, a mere creation of Dolly's imagination. Yet, through all the chatter, neither Dolly nor Carl felt the need to address the rumors. Dolly Parton, always radiant with her signature smile, once quipped, "I've heard hundreds of rumors about my husband," before chuckling and adding, "and I bet he hasn't paid attention to a single one." That simple remark spoke volumes about their relationship. While the world speculated and tabloids ran wild with gossip, Dolly and her husband, Carl Dean, remained unfazed. Carl, in particular, never wasted a moment on the swirling rumors. He didn't need public validation to know the truth about his marriage. Dolly, too, stood firm in the quiet confidence of their love.
He's proud of me, he's proud for me, he loves hearing about it, he loves show business.
For them, their relationship was never about proving anything to the world. It was about the unshakable bond they shared, built on trust, laughter, and decades of unwavering devotion. They didn't need grand gestures or public displays. What they had was private, profound, and entirely their own, making it all the more special. While the glitzy world of Hollywood, with its short-lived relationships and constant temptations, could have easily tested their commitment, Dolly remained steadfast. She admitted that the pressures of fame could sometimes make things difficult, but she never once wavered in her loyalty. In those moments of doubt or uncertainty, Dolly would always find herself thinking about Carl, about the warmth of their home, and the unwavering love he had for her. It was a love that provided stability and comfort, and she often found herself reaffirming that nothing in the world could ever replace it. For Dolly, Carl wasn't just her partner, he was her anchor, and no amount of rumors or speculation could ever shake the foundation of their enduring love. The question that comes to mind at this point is, how did they manage to keep the love alive, despite the unfavorable external factors? Let's get answers to the question. The simple things that keep their love alive. Though Carl may not be the type to express his feelings through grand gestures or extravagant displays of affection, his love for Dolly is evident in the smallest, most thoughtful actions. It's in the quiet ways he shows he cares, and it's these little things that speak volumes about the depth of his feelings. Dolly once shared a heartwarming story that highlights Carl's tender approach to love. Whenever she returns from a long trip, Carl always has a small surprise waiting for her. It could be a handwritten note tucked away in a place where only she would find it, a delicious home-cooked meal ready to welcome her home, or even something as simple as ensuring that her car is spotless, ready for her to drive with ease. For Carl, these little acts are the perfect way to let Dolly know how much he missed her. Dolly said, "That's his way of showing he missed me, and to me, that means everything."
My whole life with him, he's had that rock and roll just blaring as loud as he could get it.
While it may not be a grand romantic gesture that makes headlines, the sincerity and thoughtfulness behind Carl's actions are far more meaningful. In a world that often values flashy displays of love, Carl's subtle and consistent acts of care are a reminder that love doesn't always have to be loud to be profound. Carl may never write her love poems or make public declarations of affection, but in his own quiet, humble way, he's been showing Dolly just how much she means to him for over 50 years. Every small act of kindness, every little surprise, and every thoughtful gesture is his way of saying, "I love you." It's a love built on time, consistency, and genuine care, qualities that speak far louder than any words or grand gestures could ever express. In a world where people often look for the big moments, Carl's quiet love reminds us that sometimes it's the small things that truly matter. Let's talk about Carl's perspective of love. Carl Dean's love, in his own words. For 50 years, Carl lived in the shadows of quiet dignity, deliberately avoiding the spotlight and choosing solitude over recognition. He was a man who believed in the power of restraint, letting his actions define him rather than empty words. His presence was felt, yet he remained an enigma, an observer of life rather than its loud participant. But when he finally chose to speak, his words carried a weight that no amount of fame or fortune could match. They were neither elaborate nor rehearsed, but their simplicity made them all the more powerful. Each syllable was infused with raw sincerity, carrying emotions so deep that those who heard them were left in awe. It was as if a dam had broken, unleashing years of unspoken wisdom and feeling. In that moment, Carl's voice, once silent, became unforgettable, echoing in the hearts of all who listened. He said, "Dolly is the love of my life. From the very first day I met her, I knew she was the one I wanted to spend forever with." In these few heartfelt words, Carl summed up a love that had grown strong and steady over the years, a love that didn't require fanfare or flashy displays. Their love story stands as a beautiful reminder that true love does not demand attention or recognition from the world. It doesn't need to be paraded on red carpets or splashed across magazine covers to prove its worth. What makes it beautiful is the quiet certainty of its existence, a love that remains unshaken by the fleeting demands of fame or public approval. Carl and Dolly's bond was grounded in something much deeper. Their love was not about seeking validation from others, it was simply about knowing, in their hearts, that they had found something rare and precious. Their commitment was unwavering because they never felt the need to prove their love to anyone but each other. The simplicity of their relationship, the lack of any need for outside applause, was likely what kept it enduring and timeless. It wasn't a love based on external validation, but on the quiet understanding between two people who knew they had something sacred. At the end of it all, perhaps that's the greatest lesson. True love doesn't need the world's approval. For Carl and Dolly, their love had always been enough. And that's what made it so powerful and lasting. A love that did not need to shout because it had already spoken in the most meaningful way possible. What do you think about Dolly Parton's husband speaking out after years of silence? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.